When it comes to sexual immorality, the answer is marriage. Now, what's your question? This is partly what Paul is saying in his letter to the church at Corinth, the first letter that is. The church posed the question to Paul in a letter, and Paul gave his answer to them in another letter. Now, concerning the things of which you wrote to me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, because of sexual immorality, let each man have his own wife, and let each woman have her own husband. Their question appears to be about sexual relations for single people, whether that activity is good or bad, permissible or forbidden in their present circumstances. Paul says it is good for a single man not to have sexual relations with a woman, assuming he is able to contain his desires. But if he is unable to contain those desires, he should marry. Marriage is the answer for the single man and the single woman who have sexual desires but lack an outlet for them. Because the only outlet for sexual desire in single people is marriage. Now notice the because. There are unmarried members of the church in Corinth who are engaging in sex outside of marriage. This is why Paul says because. He is saying, because there is sexual immorality among you, let each man marry. Paul tells them that being single is okay, even good, but that being single and having sex outside of marriage is not. The remedy for sexual temptation in single people is either abstinence or marriage between one man and one woman. If you are a married Christian man who struggles with sexual lust, please take note of this imperative from Paul. Marriage, says the apostle, is the remedy for sexual temptation outside of marriage. And the sex that takes place within a marriage, as Paul explains in the next few lines of this letter, is to take place between the husband and the wife. No one else. The husband isn't permitted to go searching for sexual satisfaction anywhere else, whether offline or online, any more than the single man is. So that rules out pornography, right? The remedy for sexual desire in single men and single women is marriage. The remedy for sexual desire in married men and married women is marriage. Any questions?